Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is a little different since it's not about a game, but I think you'll find it interesting. So this is the MSI Optix G241. And I recently got it because my other monitor broke. Now before I start, I just want to say I am not an expert whatsoever on monitors, and I have only had a few monitors in my life. This is more of a personal experience review. Spoiler alert, this monitor is really good, but let's not hang around anymore and let's get into it. So first things first is the resolution. It's only a 1080p display, but that is expected at this price. At the time of recording, it only cost £150 on Amazon, so I didn't think it would have 1440p anyway. At 24 inches, I wouldn't recommend sitting too close to the monitor because you can see the pixels quite clearly. The monitor is a borderless design, but you still have a bigger border on the bottom of the screen. As for the brightness of this monitor, it's okay. It only goes up to 250 nits, but in my case that is plenty of screen brightness. But if you sit next to a window where the sun is shining on your screen, then you might want to go for a different monitor, but if you don't sit in the sun, it's completely fine. In fact, I have mine on 80% brightness most of the time, so it's definitely good enough. Now let's talk about the selling point of this monitor, the 144Hz screen. Compared to my old 60Hz 21-inch screen, this is a massive upgrade. The 144Hz screen is so smooth and is great for gaming. And if you don't already know, if you play on a 144Hz or even higher screen, you will never want to go back to 60Hz. This screen is also 1 millisecond on the fastest mode, but I actually recommend putting it on fast, because if you put it on the fastest mode, you get inverse ghosting, and I don't think it's worth the 1 millisecond response time. The viewing angles on this monitor are pretty decent as well, and MSI claims you can see it even at 178 degrees, which I can confirm is correct. Now let's talk about the ports. This monitor has 2 HDMI in ports and 1 display port. It also has a headphone jack, so you can listen to the sound through headphones, but I personally think it's pointless because you can just plug them into your PC. The monitor comes with a HDMI cable that is capable of 144 FPS and is roughly 2 meters long, but don't quote me on that. The stand is very sturdy and is built out of metal. It is easy to install on the screen and can support the weight very well. Now let's talk about what comes in the box with the monitor. You get a power supply, and yes, the power supply is separate from the monitor, but I think that's better because if it breaks, you can get a new power supply and not a whole new monitor. You also get a HDMI cable, as I already said, a few screws for screwing in the stand, a quick start guide to help you put the thing together, and a warranty booklet. This all came in this rather plain box. Now this monitor has a 1000:1 contrast ratio. Now I can't confirm this because I can't test it, but in this YouTube video he tested it and showed great results as well. 1000:1 is very high, so that's good. The menu on this monitor is one of the best I've seen. It has a red little joystick on the back of the monitor and you can control it with that. The menu itself is really easy to navigate and has all the settings you need, such as night vision, response time, refresh rate, etc. Now let's look at the IPS panel. First things first, it has a IPS panel, so the colours are very accurate and the picture reproduction is really good too. The monitor has some backlight bleeding on the edges, but nothing too bad, but could be a little bit better. The display is very sharp and colourful. And lastly, you can tilt this monitor, but you cannot adjust the height. You can tilt the screen about 20 degrees up and down, and that is good enough for me, but height adjustment would have been good. Now this monitor is rated F for efficiency and uses 25 watts according to the MSI website, but what do you expect from a gaming monitor? If this was a home office monitor, that would have been bad, but for a gaming monitor, it's completely fine. Also, the power supply gets a little bit warm, but nothing near being hot. Now I will say I have not talked about AMD FreeSync, but that is because I have a Nvidia GPU and I don't really know what that is anyway. All I have to say about it is it's a really nice touch for people who have a AMD GPU. Also, yes, you can use this with a console. It has a console mode for that, which puts it down to 120 Hz. Also, just one note, lots of people on Amazon were saying that theirs came with some dead pixels, but mine had absolutely none. Overall, I think this is a really good monitor for the price of £150, and you definitely can't get much better than this for this sort of price. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.